Greetings. Welcome to another edition of the Houston Roundball Review presents folks Talkin Sports, sponsored by 5-Star Properties. 5-Star Properties is a Dallas-based company owned by a UH alum. If you are facing foreclosure or need to sell your house as is for cash, call 972-532-SELL or visit the website at 5starprops.com. I am Kris Gardner, owner and co-founder of the Houston Roundball Review. On the screen right now is Willy Gibson in Ohio. How are you, Mr. Gibson, sir?
I'm doing well, sir. How about you?
Doing well. I'm in Fort Worth. He's in Ohio, and another person in Fort Worth going to bring him in. He's just popping in right there. Is Andy Yanez from Gallery Sports. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, Kris. Good morning. How are you?
Doing all right. We're going to get into this. Will.
Yes.
You got a surprise to discuss. I believe the Ohio State Buckeyes are still playing basketball. Will?
Surprise to who? No. But yeah. They play in an hour. Semifinals of the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, that's another reason why we're doing the show right now. This Folks Talking Sports edition is because I know they're playing soon. The Coogs play at 2, and we have Commissioner Mike Aresco from the American talking to the media in 2 hours. So Andy will be leaving shortly to head over there, and I'll be leaving soon after that to head over to the arena it's kind of strange to say it, but Mike Aresco and the commissioner of the American, let's see, what it'll be less than 4 months, the Coogs will no longer be a member of the American. So Mike Aresco is one of the last times talking to us as the Houston Cougars are a member of the American. But Andy, any thoughts on, we're going to talk about it just real briefly, thoughts, more digestion of the Cougs 14-point win yesterday over East Carolina, despite shooting 28% from the floor.
28% and missing 41 shots, which is absurd when you think about it. And of course, that offensive rebounding mark that Calvin Sampson always talks about wanting to get half of those misses. Houston didn't come close to that. They only got 7 offensive rebounds on 41 of those misses. Not much to dissect. I mean, from kind of what we heard at the players and Coach Calvin Sampson post game, the kind of key phrase used by Coach Sampson was out of character, and that's absolutely what it was. Now, Houston is, at the end of the day, what separated Houston from East Carolina is that they had Marcus Sasser, and Sasser caught fire. He did what stars do, especially in the second half, where he scored 24 of those 30 points, and he was really the key player that helped lift Houston past East Carolina. But it's March. I know it's not the NCAA tournament. It's the American Athletic Conference postseason tournament. But at the end of the day, win in advance. That's another one of the key phrases that they use. And that's exactly what Houston did. Now, it always seems like it's become a tradition for Houston and Cincinnati at some point having to meet in the American Athletic Conference postseason tournament. And of course, they will meet again later today at 2 p.m., which will be the last time they ever meet in the American Athletic Conference tournament. Maybe they'll be meeting in the Big 12 tournament a year from now. Who knows about that? But Houston's played Cincinnati twice already. Jarris Walker starred in both of those games. I think the Bearcats did much better in the second meeting towards the end of January at Fertitta Center. So I think it'll be an interesting matchup, but I don't expect Houston to shoot as bad as they did on Friday. And I think it'll be an interesting game. I think Cincinnati obviously is going to be scrappy. It's going to be win or go home for them, because if they lose, they're going to be out. It's going to be the end of their season. But I expect Houston to put together a better, cleaner performance and come out with a win in advance to the American Athletic Conference Tournament Championship.
It's hard to shoot 28% 2 games in a row. It's hard to shoot 28% on purpose.
Law of averages.
I mean, Marcus Sasser was, I think, 9 for 15 from the floor. The rest of the team was 7 for 42. 7 for 42, and they won by 14 points. So But East Carolina got a freshman named Ezra Ausar at 18 points and 19 rebounds. 19 boards is a new record for the American Athletic Conference tournament. He had 12 and 10 in the first half against the Coogs as they destroyed Houston on the boards 24-14, which I know Coach Sampson was not happy about, and let the players know about that specifically at halftime. And they did a better job in the second half on the boards. Houston won that battle by 9 to help them. They made free throws.
Did Kris cut out?
Today against Cincinnati on ESPN. Go ahead. And
no, I was gonna say you were kind of cutting out.
Things. Oh, okay. Both of us in the hotel, so Wi-Fi is spotty, and we got construction going on here in this hotel, which started about an hour ago. So another reason for me to head over to the arena a little early. So they're renovating and on the floor above me. So if you hear banging or short circuiting, that's one of the reasons. But Wi-Fi is Wi-Fi in hotels. We're world travelers now. Mr. Gibson, do you have any news to share about Big Ten expansion or anything like that, sir?
No, man. No. I saw what you saw, but again, the Big Ten has no commissioner. So who are they talking to?
When are they supposed to have a commissioner, Will?
Great question. No one knows.
So, because I heard one timetable was in April. Well, Kevin Warren leaves in April, right?
He's gone.
Okay, like official title or whatever. Help me out here. Help us out from non-Big Ten country.
Kevin Warren's been gone. Okay. He's with Chicago. He's been with the Bears. The Big Ten has no commissioner. So all of these innuendos and rumors and this and that, they have no commissioner. So I'd love to know who these people are talking to, because there's no decision maker.
Do you think there's a possibility that the presidents, Big Ten presidents, the new commissioner, whoever, do ultimately decide to expand again?
To quote KG, anything is possible. But
I didn't say that, Will. That's not me.
Oh yeah. My bad.
I'm the broke KG. So yeah.
Yeah. No, you said that. I didn't say that.
Yeah.
But no. It's possible, but the most powerful AD in the conference is against expansion. So take that as you will. And he yields a very, very powerful stick in the conference. Gene Smith. So he's not with it. He's been approached to become the new Big Ten commissioner. He has rejected those overtures. Gene has bigger fish to fry. His ultimate goal is to be president of the NCAA. That's the worst kept secret in Columbus. Has been for years. That's always been his goal. He came here wanting to be the president of the NCAA.
Why? So, to transform it, to take slings and arrows, to be the most hated man in college sports?
How do I want to say it? It looks good on the resume. Title, power.
Oh, okay, power. I go with power.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I was trying to dress it up, but yeah, power.
Will, are you going to hop on a plane and fly from Ohio to Kansas City to see Shaq Diesel DJ at the Big 12 championship?
No. Is that must see? Is that must see?
I think Shaq is he's DJing tonight or did it last night, but it's all part of
the Big 12.
Brett Yormark's entertainment and meshing entertainment and sports with the Big 12. Part of his promotion, marketing, all those things. Fat Joe performed as well. So
not the product on the field. We want to party. Okay.
Well, Big 12 is already the best conference in basketball. Will period. Yeah. Numbers say that. Last two champions say that too. So.
You poking national championship. Yeah.
Okay. That's KU and that's right. KU won it, right?
Yeah.
Right, Andy? Big 12?
Yeah. The year before that, Baylor. Yeah.
Baylor. Yeah. So that's Big 12. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Big 12. Wow, y'all talking mad trash now.
That's not trash. Those are
facts.
facts.
No, I'm talking about the Houston contingent. That's okay.
Because if we were going to talk trash, we could talk about the Tar Heels. Will.
Yeah, but you did by saying Kansas won the chip. That's what.
Oh, I wouldn't even think about that. I
Yeah.
wouldn't even think about that. Yeah, I really wasn't. I would not think about that whatsoever. None whatsoever. Not even in my mind. I just go on the Big 12 angle.
All right. Fair enough.
But Andy, as you get ready to head over there, any final words on this edition of Folks Talking Sports, sponsored by 5 Star Properties?
I am really, really interested to see what happens in the other American Athletic Conference semifinal match between Memphis and Tulane, because Tulane swept Memphis twice in the regular season. So it'll be interesting to see how these two teams match up. I think it's interesting. Houston swept Cincinnati and Tulane swept Memphis. And obviously we know the proverbial hard to beat a team 3 times. So it's going to be something that we'll see how that holds up. And then, of course, we have to see what Mike Aresco says during his press conference. I think it's interesting that a few days ago he wants to get rid of the Power Conference labels. He's not, I guess, his Power 6 conference is in the rearview mirror, and he just doesn't want to. There's no such thing as power conferences if you're not in the Big Ten or SEC, according to Aresco.
But who coined that term?
Media? Power 6?
Or who coined that? Power conference and the group conference. Who coined that? Was it media, or was it the big boy conferences?
If you hear Aresco, he's blaming it on media.
Will, what say you about that?
I heard Power 6 from Mike Aresco.
Yeah, but Power 5. But Power 5. Who coined the term Power 5?
Oh, the Power 5. I think that's giving the media too much power. I think that has to come from, because why would the NCAA adopt something that the media created?
So it came from the big conferences, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. I could think Commissioner Aresco's frustrations in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
The bigger conferences, they coined the term because they're the bigger conferences, and they can. That's just fact.
Yeah.
There are schisms in college sports. And right now there's a Power 2, and then the others, and then the others. So, the Coogs are leaving the lower tier, moving to one of the other 3, but they'll still be behind the Power 2.
Who are the Power 2?
And the Power 2 is Big Ten and the SEC, only because of football, which, I don't understand the fascination with football, the obsession with football in America. That has been, and it's the lifeblood of some people. I don't understand that, never have. Basketball, and the one thing I do commend, I'm kind of curious to see how Brett Yormark will monetize basketball in the next media rights deal in 6 years, if he's able to monetize it, because for years, college basketball has been undervalued. And that's part of, I think, Mark Emmert's at fault for that, when he did not go the tournament to the open market. He took a deal from CBS, and sounds good at the time, sure. But looking back on it, could have got more money. Definitely got more money. Got money for the women's tournament, which is way, way undervalued. And they don't have units for the schools in that tournament. When by units, I mean teams receive money for every round they advance, like they get on the men's side. And I think, what is it, Will? 300,000, I think each round, something like that. And that's for 6 years. So Houston or Carolina or Duke or anybody on the men's side, they get 300,000 for the first round, then another 300K for the second round, and so on. And that money goes to the conference that those schools participate, and it's divided up among the members. Women's side has none of that. Zippo. So that's an issue that needs to be addressed in the next media rights deal for the NCAA and basketball. I think in a year or 2, those tournaments come up. Andy, man, if you got to check it, head on out. I'll see you over there in a bit. Tell Dustin I said hi.
It. For sure. Will do. Reminder to tune in to Let's Reach Coogs, presented by the Saxenian family. Probably around 5 p.m. around there, depending on the time. Of course, we'll be discussing everything that happens after the American Athletic Conference semifinal game between Houston and Cincinnati. Kris, I'll see you in an hour, a few minutes, and Will, thank you for hopping on. See you guys in a short while.
Take care, man.
All right.
And we're back. No need for intro because we already had intro. So live things happens when you do live stuff. So I can combine two videos once they're done. And we technology is wonders, well, good and bad. So,
Yeah.
but all right, we're back. Welcome to another edition of, well, the same edition of the Houston Roundball Review presents Folks Talking Sports, sponsored by 5 Star Properties. Andy Yanez pressed the wrong button by accident. No worries, it wasn't on purpose, wasn't intentional. Things happen.
Was it an accident? No, I'm sorry.
But a reminder, Folks Talking Sports is sponsored by 5 Star Properties, 5starprops.com. I'm Kris Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review. Twitter, there you see the HR Review. And joining me also is Willy Gibson. Kris Gibson, again. How are you, sir? Long time no see.
Hey, man, it's been a while. I'm good.
How are the Cavs doing, Will?
Cavs good. They lost last night, 119-115 in Miami. Second night. I can say it's a back-to-back. They've been there. They played Wednesday night. They won Wednesday. The Cavs is interesting. The last half of their schedule, they have 2 games and 3 nights in the same city. So they just did it in Miami, Wednesday, Friday. Now they moved to Charlotte for games Sunday and Tuesday in Charlotte. And then on Wednesday, they have a back-to-back. Because on Wednesday, they're at home versus the Sixers. And then later in the month, they have now this is a back-to-back in Brooklyn. So, no, I think that's a 2 and 3 nights as well. So, but it's great for this young team, and Donovan Mitchell mentioned it, because it gives them a playoff feel. Mm-hmm. You're in the same city. You play the same team twice in 3 days. You make adjustments. You get a feel on the fly, and it gives them the opportunity to get kind of a practice run through of the playoffs before the playoffs come. So it actually is a benefit. Darius Garland did.
We're talking playoffs?
Playoffs. Yes, sir. It's been a while. You got to talk them when you can. But yeah, Darius Garland did not play last night. Officially ruled out with a thigh contusion. Unofficially, some people say he had the Miami flu. I don't know. I don't know. That's not for me to say. But I will say he did not play, and he did as he has done all year long. Donovan Mitchell led the way with 42 points. Cleveland was up. Cleveland was up the entire game and allowed 37 points in the fourth quarter, which JB Bickerstaff was not pleased with. But he's also understanding and aware that this team is young. They're learning. And, these things are going to happen. But what's amazing to me, Kris, as far as the Cavs, is the hate directed towards Isaac Okoro, because he's a third-year player, 5th overall pick, left school as a freshman, so he's 21, 22 years old. And it's amazing how people fail to give him the opportunity to develop. I mean, he's a small forward. He's a third-year player. And to kind of contrast it a little bit, people are go above and beyond to allow second-year Evan Mobley to develop, and that's what they should. They should. Evan Mobley is, as JB Bickerstaff states, going to be the most important player on the Cavs in a short period of time. Mm-hmm. And you see that. So people are willing to give Evan Mobley all the runway in the world to develop. But with Isaac Okoro, it's like, no, we got to get him out of here. Get somebody else in here. And it's like, I don't understand it.
Fans are fans, Will.
Yeah.
Because, in case you hadn't heard, Jabari Smith Jr. is a bust.
Yeah.
The Rockets should trade or Kevin Porter Jr. and also Jalen Green. Yeah. So yeah, that's how things are down here in Houston, or in Houston. I'm in Fort Worth right now, of course. But yes, all that's on the table. Jabari is a bust. I didn't hear this after Jabari scored 30 against the Pacers a few days ago.
Right.
It was a bust, and that KPJ should be traded, and he's he was the reason for the Rockets losing despite being hurt. He hadn't played since January, but all the problems and the culture issues, the locker room issues, were because of him, and he was out for a month, missed 20 games. I just love how these, especially the national people, who I haven't seen some of these national folks in Houston at a game, in a locker room,
Yep.
and yet they're talking about culture and locker room issues. Who y'all talking to?
Yeah.
Where y'all getting your info from? Because I know when I'm in the locker room, I don't see any problems. I don't hear any problems. We'll give you an example. I think it's pretty appropriate example. After the, I guess, really 2 earthquakes that hit Turkey and Syria.
Mm-hmm.
Alperen Şengün, Rockets forward, from Turkey. He does not live in that damaged area, but he, had a few friends who were impacted, obviously. But Alp, being a citizen of Turkey, wanted to do his part, wanted to raise money, donations, what have you.
Right.
His teammates helped him with what to do, helped him with suggestions about how to raise money, how to raise funds, how to accept clothes, toiletries, all those things. His teammates did that. They were discussing it. Well, guess where they're discussing it? In the locker room.
Imagine that.
So that does not sound like a chemistry problem or a locker room problem to me.
Not at all.
But, folks got to spend what they want to spend and get those clicks and make the national bosses happy. Whereas us local folks who are there almost every day see and hear none of this, but what version gets the biggest attention? The national people.
Everybody has an agenda.
So, whatever. And just this last game when Rockets went to overtime and lost to the Pacers, Coach Steven Silas said that he mentioned that the chemistry in the team is great. These guys have not quit on each other, on the team. They're battling, they're playing, they're closer now, and they got a goal to finish this season strong. That does not sound like a locker room issue to me. They're not the most talented team. Hell, we know that. Known that all year. They're very inexperienced. We've known that all year. There are enough issues with what's wrong with Rockets other than making up stuff. Okay.
Right.
But that gets me warm. But my man, we talked about this, I think, on the last Folks Talking Sports, and it's gaining legs, man. It's more and more legs.
Mm-hmm.
James Harden coming back to the Rockets, Will.
No.
I don't get it. I don't understand it. So if folks are chiming in who join us on this new link to this edition of Folks Talking Sports, thank you very much for watching us on YouTube and on Twitter on the Houston Roundball Review on YouTube, Twitter at Folks Talk Sports. Just had an issue that we were shut down accidentally on the previous one, but we're back. We're going to talk some Rockets. But yes, if you're watching us, give us your thoughts and have they changed? I know James Harden is a great player, but I'm not going to say names, okay? But there is not one person I talk to here in Houston. I'm not talking fans, but not one person I talk to here in Houston who believes James Harden return to the Rockets is a good idea.
It's not a fit. It just doesn't fit. He just doesn't fit. On both sides. One, you're continuing to build through the draft. You have this young squad that's going to grow and mature, hopefully together. Then you have a 14, 15-year veteran by that point. 14-year veteran.
Yeah. Yeah.
You bring him in. Your vet that you bring in to mentor your squad is your Udonis Haslem, someone of that fabric, that ilk, if you will. Mm-hmm. James Harden? I don't get it. PJ Tucker, if you want to bring back a former Rocket, maybe. But James Harden. And what's the benefit for him?
More money?
Yeah.
Something else.
No, right.
Yeah, something else. Well,
yeah,
but
yeah.
Tillman could sell tickets, and also I'll say it again. I made a clip of it from from our show. Would you want James Harden as a mentor to Victor Wembanyama? Nobody said yes to that. Nobody. So, but Tillman wants to sell those tickets. Okay, Tillman. I mean, you're the owner, and you have increased your value, or somehow, or whatever, trying to put in a bid for the Commanders and all these other issues. But okay.
What's the attendance like? What's the attendance like down there this year with the squad? The way it is.
It's announced about 15,000.
Okay, say less. Yeah.
10 is probably pushed 10 to 12,000.
Okay, and it seats how many?
18, 17, 8, around there, something like that.
Okay,
but there's no sellouts. There haven't been any sellouts here or there at the building that Tillman owns, but you can see it. A lot of empty seats. At the games, folks are tired of losing. Which I don't I understand that. 15 and 51. They don't have the worst record in the NBA because that is owned by my Pistons at 15 and 52, who, their core guys, boy, knee issue, ankle issue, tendonitis here and there. Well, let's give the youngsters some more run. I'm good with that. Veteran, are you a vet? Yeah. You sure you feel okay today?
All right.
Suddenly you got a cold in your chest. You sure you're all right? Well, I feel fine. Are you sure though? Are you sure you feel okay? Because we think looking at your eye, I don't know. Because truth of the matter is players want to play. It's the organizations that sit players. It's the organizations that Commissioner Silver doesn't want me to say this, that tank.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because people talk about this load management and guys don't want to compete and guys don't want to play. CJ McCollum, last year came out and said it. There's times I want to play. The trainers take me off the floor. I want to play. The trainers will say, we have 4 games in 5 nights. We're going to sit the middle one out. No, these guys want to play. They want to compete. They've played their entire lives to get to the pinnacle of their profession. You think they purposely want to sit out? No.
And that's the thing. And it was a month or so ago. I forgot who it was, but other writers finally acknowledging it. Players want to play. It's the teams, management, staff, medical staff. Yep. No, we're going to sit you today. Oh, and then it's Commissioner Silver and the owner saying, well, we want players to play more games. We want them for the next media rights deal. We would like to ensure for the awards and voting that players play, 80% of the games or whatever, 90% of the games. Most of them do want to play 90% of the games.
Yeah.
Up to them, they'll play. Some of the dudes, many of the dudes, I'm even going to say it, women too, pros, you got to sit them down. You got to make them sit down.
Yeah.
This ankle is bad. This toe is bad. In Scoot's case, his toe is bad. I asked him if he needs surgery this summer. Will he require surgery? He said, no, rest should be good. Well, he's had a problem with this toe since January. Okay. He missed game because of this toe. They tell us it's a bruised toe. A bruised big toe? Well, we're going on 2 months. That's a hell of a bruise.
Yeah.
But he wants to play. He wants to finish out the season. These guys want to play. Oh, by the way, Will, this is a young man who people blast for all kinds of issues.
Oh, I know.
But he wants to play. He's playing through an injury. but he's part of the issues, the locker room
Oh.
issues. But you know,
I heard him up here. Before he got
yeah.
down there. He was up here. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't get us started. We already started on this one. But seriously, the Rockets have other issues, locker room issues. I don't believe it is one of them. That's not a major issue, but it does seem more and more that James Harden to the Rockets is going to happen. Okay. I don't know. Okay. That'll be a Tillman move. But anyway, one more time, you're watching us on Folks Talking Sports, sponsored by 5 Star Properties. 5 Star Properties is owned by a UH alum, a Dallas-based company owned by a Houston alum. If you're facing foreclosure or you need to sell your house as is for cash, call 972-532-SELL or visit their website at 5starprops.com. FIVESTARPROPS.com. Willy Gibson, who did the Buckeyes play and should be coming up soon, right?
Yeah, it tips off in about 25 minutes. They play Purdue and the national, or not. That'd be something if it was a national semifinal. The Big Ten Conference semifinal number 1.
So they're playing against the Zach Edey's.
Zach Edey's, yeah.
And that's Purdue's problem. If they are the Zach Edey's, or if it's Zach Edey and the Edey's, they're not very good. If it's Purdue Boilermakers, then they have a chance to win championship.
Yep.
But it's Zach and everybody else, that's when they have problems. But we'll see how that goes. And I'll be headed to the arena for Commissioner Mike Aresco, the AAC Commissioner. We'll be talking to the media in a little under 90 minutes before semifinal number 1, where the 1 seed Houston Cougars face the 4 seed Cincinnati Bearcats. The game will be on ESPN2. And then after that will be 2 seed Memphis against 3 seed Tulane. Tulane swept Memphis in the regular season both times, just as the Cougs swept the Bearcats in their 2 matchups. What are your thoughts on that whole, I don't know if it's a myth, but the belief, it's really hard to beat a team 3 times in a season. What are your thoughts on that?
It's a talking point. A talking point. Yeah, I mean,
because my thing is, if you're better than them, you're going to beat them twice, do the same things, you'll beat them again.
Yeah. Why not? It's a talking point. So, yeah, that's all I have. So.
And it's a talking point if the team that won twice loses the 3rd time. Well, it's really hard to beat a team 3 times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who told you that?
Yeah. Who told you that? So I look at it in the game and say, well, in this game, y'all had 25 turnovers. In your 2 wins, you had a combined 25. So you sure was the 3rd time matchup problem, or was it you problem?
Right.
Well, see, now you're bringing logic. Well, yeah, you're gonna beat them twice. 3rd time, y'all to get it done. That's more you than it is them.
Well, to use that adage, I hope that's the case because Purdue beat Ohio State twice. So hopefully it is hard to beat a team 3 times in a row, and Ohio State to get the win today.
Yeah. See, we shall see. We got example in there in the Big Ten. We got 2 examples in the American. Probably have maybe a few more in other tournaments today. Selection Sunday is tomorrow evening. We'll find out where the Cougs will be seated and playing in the first round, as well as Purdue. Purdue could be a number 1 seed. UCLA is battling injuries to some key players. And the committee is supposed to take injuries into account in terms of seeding, depending on the long-term prognosis of those players. So if they're expected to miss the tournament, then how are they projected to be without those key players? So that would be an impact. So we'll see. I'm using UCLA as an example because they're the current ones going through a couple of injuries.
Yep.
But we'll see. I think Alabama and Kansas are 1 seeds for sure. The question of will KU be the overall number 1 seed or Alabama? Houston, I don't think Cougs have a chance. If they do, it's slim and none. I think Slim left town. But Cougs are the metrics darling. So Coug fans especially believe they should be the number 1 overall seed. Not going to happen. KU's the best team in the best conference. They got the most quadrant 1 wins. All those other things. I think the committee will give them the number 1. Well, we'll see them as the number 1 overall seed and just go down from there. All right. Well, I think, let's see, pro days. Any pro days coming up for the Buckeyes?
Yeah, I believe it's the 15th this week.
Coming up, okay.
Yeah, pro days coming up this week. I think, is it Thursday?
Wednesday. 15th is Wednesday.
15th is Wednesday. So then the 16th then.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. And big trade yesterday in the NBA that most feel benefits Ohio State quarterback C.J. Stroud.
NFL.
Yeah, the Chicago Bears, who have a quarterback in former Ohio State quarterback Justin Fields, doesn't need a quarterback. Feel they can get their player down the line. So they pretty much put the first number 1 overall pick on sale, up for auction, if you will. And the Carolina Panthers, they went and got it. They traded 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and wide receiver DJ Moore to the Chicago Bears for the number 1 overall pick. And reports are that they went up to get Ohio State quarterback C.J. Stroud.
And what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's Lion season. And yeah, you know. I mean, it's Lion season. Don't believe anything you hear between now and the draft. You just can't, because no one in their right mind is going to tip their hand, if you will, and give you classified information and say, yep, we went up to get him. I just don't believe that. I mean, now, could it be C.J. Stroud? Possibly. But I think they aren't. They're intelligent enough not to say that. And you've heard that since the trade was announced yesterday. Oh, they went up for CJ. Oh, they went up for CJ. Oh, they went up for CJ. It'd be great for CJ. And I mean, if not, Houston should be running to the table at 2 to pick CJ. If it's not CJ at 1 for Carolina, but I just the skepticism in me is like, for me to hear it now tells me it's not true.
Okay. And when the Bears won, what was it? The Texans won their last game, lost the first pick in the draft.
Yeah, shout out to Lovie Smith. The Bears love him for that.
Most people at that time believed that the Bears would trade the pick.
Yep.
The Bears, no, we're not going to trade the pick. We're not going to trade the pick.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Right.
Case in point.
Exactly.
Lion season.
Yeah.
Lion season.
So, and then lo and behold, I mean, that's a leverage ploy. And what are your thoughts on what they got for the number?
They got him. 2 1s, 2 2s, and your number 1 wide receiver. 5 players for 1. They got him. Next year's number 1. So you traded next year's number 1. They got him without question. Kudos to Ryan Poles, the GM of the Bears, because that's a huge haul.
And see, that's what I thought. Why I said is thank you for joining us at this early edition of the show of Talkin Sports, because the Bears got a great haul in spite of everybody expecting them to trade the pick. So they got 5 players for 1 pick. Carolina, what y'all doing? I mean, make it make sense. Will make it make sense to me.
Yeah, they must have fell in love at the combine. Whoever they saw last week at the combine, they convinced themselves we gotta have this kid no matter what, and do what it takes to get him. And Bears was like, oh, okay, I got you. Come through. Come see me. Get at me. And they did.
Good luck to them. I forgot, the name escapes me. I have to look it up. The Texans signed a receiver yesterday.
Oh, Robert Woods.
Will, isn't Robert Woods like my age now?
Yeah. No, hey, real talk. Between me and you, I met Robert Woods one time. Robert Woods, 137 years old.
I mean, what a 2-year deal for like $15 million, something like that?
$10 million guaranteed. Yeah.
And I'm like, Robert Woods?
Yeah.
Aren't his numbers like bad?
He didn't play last year. I don't think he played last year. I think he blew his ACL in camp.
So what is?
Yeah.
Huh? We need to talk to AD more about this one, because I'm like, make this one make sense to me, please, AD, because I don't understand it. I saw it come across the ticket. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Huh?
And I also heard they're going after Jimmy Garoppolo. Again, it's Lions season, but free agency starts Monday, so we shall see.
We shall see. But the NFL, pro sports, there is a reason bad teams stay bad teams. I'm just going to say that. Put it like that. And the flip side, there's a reason good teams stay good. So,
yeah.
Texans, okay. I don't cover y'all, but, I got colleagues here that do on this channel. All right. We're going to wrap it up because you're getting ready to watch the Buckeyes. I'm ready to go listen to Mike Aresco at the arena and get ready for the Coogs. But thank you, Wise-Sitters, for your comment. I'll splice this show together. If you missed it, the first part one of this show was accidentally ended by Mr. Yanez of Gallery Sports. He just pressed the wrong button. So used to being in the studio having the own keys to the kingdom, he pressed the wrong button. But it's all good. I'll put them all together and repost on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. This show, Folks Talking Sports, sponsored by 5 Star Properties website 5starprops.com. 5 Star Props is a Dallas-based company owned by a UH alum. If you are facing foreclosure or need to sell your house as is for cash, call 972-532-SELL or visit the website at 5starprops.com. Brother Willy Gibson, as we wrap it up and close it out, how can folks get at you on the social media platforms, sir?
Holla at me at Will Gibson 7, as the crawl says. Yep, at Will Gibson 7 on Twitter and IG, and on Facebook, Will Knows.
And you see my Twitter there, the HR Review. You're watching us either on Folks Talk Sports on Twitter or on the Houston Roundball Review on YouTube. So thank you very much. We're going to have a Less Rage Coogs post-game show after today's Coogs Cincinnati game, between 5 and 6 o'clock start. And then based on that, I may do a Let's Talk Rockets. Rockets playing tonight at home, so probably not, but we'll fit it all in because the Rockets right now do not have the worst record in the NBA that is owned by the Detroit Pistons. Just saying. Detroit's playing the Pacers, I think, back-to-back, and chances are they're going to lose both those games. So
yeah,
they'll continue having
the Pistons last week. I saw the Pistons last week in Cleveland, and I see why they have the worst record in the league.
Yes. Brick for Vic, Will. Brick for Vic.
They're doing it.
Yes. They're doing a good job of it. And, hey, I'm okay with that. Because once Cade was out for the year, I'm like, well, let's give Jaden Ivey the keys and see what he can do with it and then go with that. He's played better last few weeks, and that's part of the improvement process. But all right. Thank you very much for watching parts 1 and parts 2 of Folks Talking Sports today, sponsored by 5 Star Properties. I'm Kris Gardner of Houston Roundball Review. Thanks to my man, Willy Gibson in Ohio. And earlier, Andy Yanez from Gallery Sports. We will be sure you tune in for more content on the Houston Roundball Review on YouTube, because we'll have probably comments from Commissioner Mike Aresco and our next edition of Let's Rage Coogs. Everybody, till then, take care. Peace.